Sorry, y'all. I gotta get that. I had to get that straight, but hopefully we get it done. Alright, give me a second. Share. Copy link. There you go. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And alright, what is good, everyone? It is your boy, JJ That Dude, and we are back. Awesome, the Great Ace Attorney, you know, the Chronicles. Resolve 2, part like 24 or some nonsense like that. But yeah. I had to help my neighbor with something real quick, make sure they were good and stuff. But yeah, we're here on it. We're doing this game again. We're gonna suffer on this, end the trial, all that good stuff. And hey, Kayla, how you doing? But yeah, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be locked in on it probably. I'm not gonna guarantee anything with this game. This game be on some nonsense I don't know of. But we shall be ballin'. Let's just keep it going, I guess. And this cough still kind of sucks. My throat feels like crap. Alright, Enoch Drebber, or Theft. Alright, it don't really matter what your name is, but I'm calling you Drebber though. Alright, what happened here? Good, how are you? Had fun playing my Drebber with you and Liv? That's good though, that's good to hear. And I'm doing alright, I'm making something a little bit work with it. I can't tell, this is gonna be a little iffy though. I helped my neighbor out with something, that thing was a pain in my butt though, but they'd help a neighbor out indeed. But we ballin', I guess. That's the reason I took so long to the neighbor thing. But enough, but it's found out. What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Well, I mean, we can't see him yet. I mean, you gotta wait for him to come out. As if he comes out. Yeah, well, we'll be giving a thorough going over. Don't you worry, Trevor. Well, I know it's gonna be shorter because daggone, I did most of the daggone investigation stuff. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling? Ah, that would have been me. You got it, bro. Oh. For some reason, I woke up in fine fettle today. Yeah, you know he hates him. No words, just tightly squeezed ships. Clearly, I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. I also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. Makes sense? So, I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Well, question. How would you... Wait. I'm not even trying to sound stupid. But, like, is there a thing, like, in the inside of that safe where you could just open it and stuff? Because how would that work? How would that work exactly? Because I don't know how safes work from inside. But like, how would that work? Like, can you just like close yourself in the safe and then just find a way to get out of it? Because I think you should be stuck in that safe. How would that work? I'm not questioning. You got it. This is Ace Attorney game. I don't know why I'm questioning stuff. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. And after that, you hid yourself in the side safe, having first set this parcel ticking. Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. Makes sense? Got a death wish, have you? Hide right beside a ticking time bomb. Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? Exactly my point. He's just gonna. The safe must be out there to save him. Like, bro, come on out. It's no ordinary safe, especially designed. The dynamite explosion would leave a scratch on it. So, in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely. But once you climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. Thank you, Susato, for being the word of reason and the voice of reason. I invite you to look more closely. I knew there was gonna be a way out of it. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. I told you there's gonna be some dumb nonsense out. I would be like, yeah, never mind. It's a sturdy game. Ah, so it is. I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? Nah, bro. He was just out there just to put a bomb out there to have a parade of paradise kind of moment. Like a Mario Party game. Like he beat the Bowser and all stuff. Yeah, what do you think? No. That was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Yeah, and some would just throw the daggone bomb outside the daggone skylight window. What do you expect that to happen, huh? Ah, I calculated the time required to retreat to a safe distance, set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face? Besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? He's probably crash out. I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on around here. But what about the two incidents you evidently been involved in recently? Hey, you got that. You think you got aura? I mean, he is kind of cooking though. I mean, he do be acting stupid sometimes, and be knowing some stuff. Professor Hairbrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which the head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all, and then she says, that's enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have solely jurisdiction to investigate here. Yes, well, now decide again. So the forensic investigation team are here. And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer to access him? Well, ma'am, I'm doing my job. Courtney Scythe. You look lovely today, though, by the way. I wouldn't like to say that, but like, I gotta cook. I gotta know this investigation, though. I have every right to be investigated more than you do. If Lord Stromheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once. Well, don't worry, we got our evidence that we need. My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, it is, Dr. Scythe. Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe? If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you're quite misguided. I was gonna say misjudged, but misguided indeed. It's really nothing more than a shell, you... Get out! But of course, we'll show ourselves to the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes, let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I mean, we have no choice, because she's just going to probably beat the crap out of me, at least. Ryonosuke probably don't got no heads. Sholmes can at least run away and just do some nonsense. I said get out now, all of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Understood. But I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There's a time bomb set in here that this lot disarmed. Inspector. I mean, he's not really lying. He ain't really lying, Scythe. I mean... Something's giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber? Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one. Wait, is there another one? What do you... That one? Yeah, you mean... Don't tell me. You're telling me this? You're telling me that? Nah, I'm sorry. Hold up. No. Hey, yo, Courtney Scythe, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? That was your job. That's your job. It was an hour late that we heard the news. But no, I'm sorry, though. I want to say this, though. Baby girl, that is your job. You're supposed to be the forensic investigation team. Why did you not look at it? You kind of, I ain't gonna lie. She kind of suspicious. I ain't gonna hold you. She kind of suspicious for that dumb nonsense. I can't really say much about Maria, though. If that was the other woman's name, I don't know. Or whatever the other little girl name is. But no, I'm sorry, though. That's suspicious as heck, though. That is definitely suspicious. Because you're telling me that you were in a hard investigation. You didn't want to dissect the whole thing. You're supposed to disassemble everything. Now you didn't want us to disassemble that? I'm gonna be some water, bro. They doing me too much, bro. They're doing me too much, man. Please, they're going to stupid stuff about me, man. What are you doing here? Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Courtney Scythe, what was your purpose of even doing anything if you weren't gonna look at it? You're, like I said, you're definitely suspicious, though. To me, in my opinion, you're definitely suspicious. Let's go. It was an enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. To be continued. All right, and that's been 13 minutes of that, but that's the point. Bro, she's supposed to go out there and examine the thing. She's supposed to dissect the whole experiment thing. She's supposed to have clearance and dissect the whole thing. Ain't she supposed to go out there and check the whole thing to see how the thing works? That's supposed to be her job. I'm sorry, that is her part. If they have to stupid tell special disposition, whatever that garbage thing is for the science forensics team, that's her job, and that's everyone else's job along with it. Whoever's working with her on that aspect, that is on them. You're telling me that's all, bro. I'm sorry. They had multiple chances to check it out. Unless that man supposedly put it in there like right after the trial and then that happened, sure, I'll let that rock, maybe. I'll maybe let that rock to some degree. But even if then, I'm sorry. That is still a her thing. You're telling me she didn't want to examine and check the thing? Like, come on now. I'm sorry. That is all on her. That is all on her. 24th of October, 9:11 a.m. Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. But like, nah, that's I'm sorry, that's definitely her though. Oh, brother, man, this ain't dirty stuff, man. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm still gotta blame her though. If even she has clearance, I feel like she still could know about it or hear something. Like, you tell me I could hear a tick or nothing? So, like, I have to know when he put it out there. If he put it out there, like, a little bit afterwards, like, knowing that we were going to come see him, I understand. They got that. But hopefully they explain it. Hopefully they explain it in a better way. If they do, sure, I'll let it be off of her. But yeah, I can't help that on. Good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings? No, I'm talking about, like, after they did their thing. Because here's the thing. If he already had put it way beforehand, how the heck did no one hear anything? I'm sorry. Even when we're investigating, you're telling me we couldn't hear a tick or nothing? And on top of that, the lady has more clearance on everything. You're telling me she couldn't go out there and hear something or know about it or at least look at the thing? I'm sorry. That kind of sounds kind of crazy. Even if this is an Ace Attorney game, but they got some most craziest nonsense out there. I don't know who has the most craziest stuff, Danganronpa or this Ace Attorney game. Well, every Ace Attorney game in particular. I'm not gonna lie, a dude that goes out here hits you with a literal bust of a literal what's that? Magic dude, Max? Yeah, Max bust literally just boom hits the man's head and falls all over the place, and then flies right back to normal. Like, bro, no. That sounds Mickey as heck! And then Danganronpa, oh yeah, what I'm gonna do is, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out there and do this random nonsense here, and I'm gonna get away with it. Or try to. Like, no! All that stuff sounds Mickey crazy. I'm sorry. If everyone's doing that for murder, bro, I'm sorry. They have it, bro. They got it. Yeah, that case was stupid. You're telling me that it's okay for Max's literal bus thing just oh, for the other dude, like, then I was like, I'm sorry. Like, bro, no, get that garbage crap out of there. That is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That's the most Mickeyest thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry, that is so Mickey, bro. There's some more Mickey stuff, though. There's some trials I hate. Like, don't get me started on David Gant's thing. Oh, brother. That thing was long for no reason. And I hated every minute of it. But anyway, oh yeah, let's keep it going though. Let's keep it going though. I think it's terrible though. I hope so. I should be. Even I, with nothing left to... Good morning, my dear fellows. Oh, Mr. Jones, you're here. Why, naturally, a true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times. And yeah, barely do that sometimes, but I'll let it rock today, bro. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today. Yes. Do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. Yes, I will. I realize it was a mistake, but my dear fellows, I must interject. Daggone, what do you need? What? Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes. What's the matter, dude? Surely you overlooked some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction, Sorry, I don't follow. Must I spell it out? I, the great Herlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation, arose at some ungodly hour to be here now. First thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree. Indeed, but that's not a me problem. I gotta do this case with or without you. So, we're here with it, bro. Well, if I must agree, then... As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both my cheeks, and punched me and kicked me from the bed. Dang. That sounds like, you know, some kid issues. I can't help you on that one. But honestly, at this point, she might as well be your daughter at this point. She might as well be your daughter at this point. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend in my face, and at last I was bestirred. Now that one will hurt. That one will hurt. That one has got to hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Go out there, get some tea or coffee or anything like that on your face. You're gonna crash out, bro. I don't know what's worse, that or putting your hands on the stove accidentally and not noticing it till like literally 5 or 10 seconds later, and then your hand getting burned. Don't ask how the second what happened. Don't ask that about anything about that. But it was when I was like a kid. We don't talk about that though. Oh my, Iris has been busy. Iris doesn't have it in her to go that far. She's too nice. Ah, I sense a spirit of a fellow scientist. One who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. You said the tea hurts worse? Well, I mean, I guess that's fair. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. Sorry to cut in. Oh, sorry to cut in, pal. Oh, Inspector Gregson. Good morning. More exposure, less heat spread. Hey, you got that, man. You got that. I can't really say that though, because like, I really didn't get hit with no hot coffee or tea. I got hit with something that was hot, but like, there was no tea or coffee, sadly. Gregson, my dear fellow. Why the grim expression at this delightful early hour? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression, eh? I can't say that, man. Man, either way, so it hit me. And I was like, well, I'm kind of cooked either way. Dear me, are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor? What? What? I don't know. Poor Professor. Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for. What paperwork? Ah, I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful. Indeed it does, if you're asking for it. You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's the professor's autopsy report. That mass murderers? Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy. He was found guilty in the closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under wraps. He was quickly executed after the trial. It's all in here. The kill autopsy report has been entered to the court records. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector, and I'm going to look at everything I need to look at with this. Okay, I just want to see. Does it actually... Okay. Okay, it does. Okay, that was out the way. Okay, so it fully examined this. So we're good on that. We got that. Okay, we didn't examine these things. So let's examine these things real quick. Oh, look! The cover came open. Yes, now there should be a glass panel inside. You have to change the plate with each new photograph you want to take, you see? Is something wrong? There's no plate. It's been removed. Ah, what a pity. I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the actual camera that was used at the time, just like the waxwork isn't the actual person. So we never find a photographic print of the executed victim, or convict, my bad. Coming back to life anyway. Oh, yes, you're quite right, of course. First outside, she looks devastated. I meant to say convict, not victim, but I might as well be a victim in this game. What a wonderful machine that has some blood on it. What the heck? You really love contraptions like this, don't you? Oh yes, anything mechanical I find absolutely irresistible. Almost irresistible? Surely. Well, whenever I see a pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. I simply have to take it apart. Okay. That's worrying. Yes, Father tells me by the rubbing of his stomach now. He's given up having a watch. Poor Professor Mikatova. I'm about to say, yeah, look at the blood right here. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? On the bellows, just here. There seems to be some very dark red stains. Yeah, blood. Unless it's ketchup. Yes, you're right. It looks like blood, actually. Oh my. I'm sure it's not what you're thinking. Alright. Anything else to worry about? Perfect, I'm good on this one. That was fine. Broken piece of glass. Alright, let's go. This piece of glass is almost as thick as it is wide. Yes, I've never seen anything like it. If you were to compare it to a human, only Mr. Sholmes has such thick skin. There's really no need for such comparison, Mr. Naruhodo. As you well know. Anyway, it can only be for the Crystal Tower, surely. Yes, I think so too. It's probably made especially to meet the demands of the great structure. Of that great structure, but reborn. There's a little metal plaque here, look. Fostering burgeoning talent for the future of the scientific discovery. It seems rather ironic, doesn't it? But clearly Mr. Drebber was a talented, very talented scientist. Anything else I need to know about this thing? Nah, I'm good. Gotta make sure. Oh, there's a key here. Okay. This lock does look very strong, doesn't it? There's definitely no way you could remove the mask yourself if it was put on you. What a terrible way to treat someone, even a convicted criminal. I know, it's starting to make me livid, actually. Naruhodo, please. I mean, just think about it. Imagine if you had an itch on your cheek all of a sudden. You'd be utterly helpless. Well, yes, that's true. But I'm not sure that warrants quite so much anger. Oh, right, sorry. Sorry I had to cough so much. That thing's ridiculous. Anything else I need to worry about in particular other than that little weird key thing? Looks like nothing else. Alright, perfect. Okay, redacted for confidentiality. Makes sense. Okay, if it's for confidentiality, it might be someone that, Okay, so I'm just gonna go out there and say about 3 pieces about it. Either 1, it's someone that's so dangerous that it's very bad. 2, it's something dealing with a person that's here. And that means that, because the one person that did see him was Drebber. Hold on, how old is Drebber? Drebber's about like, maybe 30, 50 something maybe? Maybe 38 or something? 35? Okay. Yeah, 35. So he did see somebody. The person did see somebody. She's 39. All that stuff. And it could be anything out there. It could be anything out there. There's some questionable things out there, so I can't say that about that. So yeah, there's some things about that. Alright. Death by Hagen confirmed at 17th of June. Courtney Stevens, which we don't know who that is, but wait, actually I think Sholmes said something about that being one of the people he knew, or was that someone else? I forgot, but this one is. But I think everything else is in order. But yeah, thank you, Inspector. Yes, much obliged, Gregson. Us lowly lot at the yard, just doing what we can. In the shadow of the great detective Sholmes, of course. Well then, Professor Hairbrain, this is it. Today we're going to lay it all this to rest at last. That's her old name. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I think I'm suspicious of her. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel that way. I don't know why I feel that way, honestly. This man's just a financier that's been out there trying to crash out the entire time. This guy I just can't, I don't know, he just feels suspiciously weird. I feel a little weird about him. We know who this is, obviously. This guy just looks like the weird nerd. She's just a lovely girl that's just out there that kind of lied in court, and then, you know, she's good now. He's just trying to do his job so he can just survive. She's two spells. Two spells is just two spells at the end of the day. Like she just want to go out there and just make him into an actual what thing. This guy is he's just little, bro. He might also be called Mario for all I'm considered. Bohemian Boy, it's just Bohemian Boy. They didn't even give me the audacity to call him by his actual name, which his name is really long for no reason though. He might be strong and he might be a good boy, but I ain't gonna lie to you. He a menace though. I can tell he look like a menace. He gives me David Gant vibes, but without that sorry tail, orange tail garbage crap that the other dude was wearing. But he's more of a menace, I feel like, than the other guy. I'm not gonna lie. Courtney Scythe, I love her, but like I feel like she might. If you say something stupid, she might kill you. This guy, he's just rapper around at the moment. Just a funny, weird guy that just makes something up. That's all I can say about that case. But the more I keep hearing Scythe, the more I'm like, bro, I'm worried because yeah, that's already crazy. Oh yeah, let's do that though. I wish you the best of luck, Professor. I suppose he'll be in there today, will he? I know he's way better than Gant, but I feel like this. Like I said, this dude is more intimidating. He might be more of a menace. It might crash out more if you do something wrong. That man gonna be like, yeah, you gonna sit in here. I gotta do something. Snaps his finger. Says I will be here in like 7 minutes and 30 seconds and 15 seconds. Like who does that? Who names the seconds? I understand the minutes, but who says the seconds along with it? Unless you just like to be very punctual. Trapper. Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness. I'm so amazed you managed to find him in just one day. I really owe you both so much. Was all thanks to Gina and her dog. But if it was Ryunosuke would call him a mutt. I understand it's important, but brother, that man does not care about punctuality that much. Look, that man said, nah, that man talked about 200 something reasons why he wants to take over as that. And on top of that, it took 11 hours. I think he missed like 11 hours or something just to go out there and do that. I'm sorry. Punctuality is already lost for him when he mentioned 200 different things and then talked about it while my character went to sleep. That does not help his case out. At that point, he might as well have just written it down and just say, look at this, read this, that's why. That's all he needed to do, and I probably would have just stopped at like the 10th one. At that point, counsel and the defendant. The trial's about to resume. Kindly make your way to the courtroom at once. Yeah, he's passing all right, but I'm sorry. At that point, you got it, bro. Just tell me 5 reasons. He got that. I'm not messing with that. You think I'm listening to 200 different reasons why you out there trying to do something? All right, okay then. Let me ask you something, Raph. Let me ask something. If I go out there and I talk about every Sonic game possible, most of them saying that, oh yeah, some are good and some are bad and all that stuff. Then I said explain the reasons why Sonic 06 is worse than daggone Sonic 3D Blast, which that's an immediate cap. That's the point though. You're probably not going to hear no 200 reasons. You're probably going like, okay, I might listen to a few reasons, but I'm not listening to 200 reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't want to hear that. You can be passionate as much as you like. Don't get wrong. I love passion. You know what I'm saying? If you're passionate about what you like, then look, I respect that. I gotta give you mad respect for that. But what I'm not going to do though is give you 200 something reasons to expect you to believe and to read that nonsense. That's not what I'm going to do. But anyway, this is it then. The final chapter. Funny, my heart's racing a little though. I've not felt this before, actually. This strange foreboding. As if something's going to happen in this round that I'm not ready for. But I can't really let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. Yes, it's special interest. Yes, there's nothing wrong with special interest. Look, I have my own special interest, but I don't give him 200 reasons why. He could have that though. He could have that interest. He said he wanted to be. That's his lifetime goal, lifelong dream. That's fine. Yeah, she could kill me, obviously. Look at this woman. This girl has 500 scalpels. Literally, I'm pretty sure her daughter would kill me too. in this game. Literally, her daughter will probably dog me. Literally, she would probably dissect me. I don't have to worry about Courtney. I gotta worry about Maria. Or her daughter or whatever, bro. Her daughter's gonna kill me. Finding the truth. Yeah, that's the problem. Exactly, that's my problem. That's why I'm afraid of him. That's why I'm worried about her in general. 24th of October, 9:30 a.m. Old Bailey courtroom. That's why I'm worried. Literally, this woman, her daughter, easily could beat me up instantly. Literally, Enoch could beat me. But wait, I can just kick him out of the way. I told you she's a scarier one. Literally, she will literally dissect you if you're alive. I don't want to fight that. I'm good. I'm okay with Mario. I could beat Mario up, you know what I'm saying? I could beat Loon Mario up, you know what I'm saying? But I'm 2 spells, as long as she don't throw no wax thing on me, or no boiling, you know, hot thing on me, we're okay. But even then, I would probably trip her. And I'm good. All somebody's Grexit really needs is just a, you know, I don't know, just... If he has like a weapon or something, I might get cooked. I wouldn't fight Gina. I couldn't fight Gina. She's a pickpocket, but I wouldn't fight her, though. I'm beating up Albert, though. I'm beating Albert. I'm losing to him every time of the day. I'm losing to him every time of the day. I can beat him. I probably am not beating that. I'm not beating him. I wouldn't fight her, and I wouldn't even fight her in the first place. So it's kind of like that. That's how I was going to feel. So I wouldn't want to fight that, honestly. But weird, though. Now, here we go. Let's get this going, though. And that's another problem. Yeah, I'm cooked. Literally, all he needs is a gun, I'm cooked. Freeze, I'm dead. Because literally, unless like I got like some inhumane like speed feats or something, I'm not beating any of them. But yeah, those two are literally beat the dog out of me every type of way. Literally, she even has like medicine to beat me up. And that's another thing, which, by the way, hey, she don't feel about it anyway, so that's already a bad thing. But I said I wouldn't fight her anyway. That's a little girl. I'm not fighting a little girl. And all she really has is her suicidal takedown. I'm gonna be okay though, but it's just I wouldn't fight her though. But yeah, simple. It's just I won't get too close to her. I'm gonna have my distance. I'm gonna have my distance. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. Resume the public hearing of Albert Harebrain, here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsels for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed? The prosecution is ready, my lord. Look, as I said, I wouldn't fight her, but look, I have a good chance, as long as I don't get hit with a suicidal takedown, I will be alright. That's the thing. If she does a suicidal takedown multiple times, I'm cooked. I'm already cooked. Fighting capabilities, look, if I have to go off of, if I have to fight him, you're not lying though, she got the anime strength. The anime strength is kind of crazy. That, okay, now if it's just pure hands, I'm not gonna lie. Yes. She's thrown the other dude that's in the first, I think, the Resolve or the first chapter with someone else with that. So yeah, there's that. Those things. But look, here's my thing though. Just don't get grabbed. Just don't get grabbed with a suicidal takedown. You're good. Now if you do though, yeah, like I said, you're kind of cooked then. I can't help you on that. But yeah, that guy got that arm though. He got that hand though. I don't know. And I don't know if he's gonna even feel my punches though. That's the only problem with that. I can't fight her because she's a girl. Like literally, I don't like fighting girls. Especially not in this case there. Like, so yeah, she got me there. So look, this is what I'll say. I'll say he'll get the better chance of me. They beat me, she beats me, the daughter beats me, he loses. He ain't beating me. Pure hands, she's losing. Pure hands. Well there, congratulations. That even solves my answer even better when I could just say, no, I would probably lose. Now, Tobias Gregson, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I got the better heads though. I got the better heads. She's a better pickpocket, but I got the better heads. I got the heads. He beats me. He loses. For some reason, I feel like he just beats me any type of way possible. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little afraid of his little pew pew punches. I ain't gonna worry about it. No stuff. So he might beat me though. I would say B to B. And Susato doesn't have a case scenario though. Now, if she says Susato takes me down, I ain't gonna lie, I'm cooked. She got me. I can't beat that. I'm sorry. I still think I can beat her though. I still think I can beat Gina. If I have to fight, I still think I could probably beat her. Now, Susato's the only one. Well, Susato, her and Maria are the only ones that I think that are girls that will probably dog me in a fight. I'm not gonna hold you. Look, I know a little bit of Muay Thai. And, you know, a little MMA. I'm not gonna say a lot about it, but look. Like I said, a Susato takedown might put me out of my place, because I ain't gonna lie. She does it 2 or 3 times, I'm probably cooked. But I wouldn't want to fight him, though. But she got that, though. She got it, though. But yeah, I will say Gina probably got them, you know, got them hands, though. But I gotta see her throw the hands, though. Like Sherlock Holmes, at least he got, you know, he got that little weird combo kind of throw he got his hands, though. But he got that, though. The defense is ready, my lord, but honestly, it goes either way with that one. It goes either way with that one. As promised, Lord Van Zieks has his apprentice with him. His apprentice with memory loss. If I may, Lord Van Zieks. Yes, my lord. There appears to be someone standing up at your side. Yes, my apprentice and assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial. Why this man acting like we don't know who this man is? We know who you are! And the smooth running of liquid refreshments, by the look of it. The way he holds himself, the way he moves. You got that, boss man? It couldn't be anyone else. But he's suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment. I know, but oh, this is very hard. It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands the court made yesterday. I understand you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on that day in question. Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as witness shortly. Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed? Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty. I do so despise deception and deceit. I find it so very wearing and wearing. To take a man's life with a conjuring trick is against magician's code, not to mention the law. Any fake scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me. We have to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence, and then settle on one. That's it, isn't it? Why is this girl even here? Literally, all she's gonna be doing is eating corn the entire time. Corn on a cob. This girl has multiple of corns on a cob too. Like, how many corns on a cob does this woman have? She gotta be a farm girl. Like, she gotta be one of them farm girls. I got no problem with farm girls, but dang. You got all them corns on the cob eating them things up like these? Look, man, your stomach should be full by now. I'm just saying, though. Wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all. If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zieks. Before I do, my lord, there is one report I must read to the court. Yesterday, at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of a primary importance in this case. Oh my goodness. Okay, look, I said pure fighting. As in, like, just hands. I'm talking pure hands. I'm not talking about with weapons. I've already mentioned that. I've even mentioned that. I said pure hands. That's why I said I would take the loss against him. I'll lose against her straight up. I would lose the straight up. Hold up. Oh, lose to him. Definitely lose to him. Definitely lose to him. Definitely lose to him. I might lose to him. It's not like I said, if she does 2 solid takedowns, I'm cooked. But yeah, the weapons, he got that too. And I don't know if this guy would have a weapon if he's a financier. I don't know. He's part of a criminal organization, but I don't know if he would have a weapon. I don't know if he has a gun or if he has a bat or something. Like, I'm gonna take him out real quick. So I can't say nothing about that unless I actually see him with an actual weapon. But yeah, that's not the point though. Yesterday at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case. So the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion affected by an unknown person or persons. That was what? An explosion? How do you not know this? You're supposed to be the main one who knows about this. Don't you look at the news, sir? This is an outrage. Yes, I heard of this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithereens, or smithers, and the wreckage reduced to ashes into flames. Don't they have newspapers? Don't they have newspapers though? Wait, did they not give newspapers or nothing like that? Did they not give out a news report that day? Said, oh yeah. They didn't give out no newspaper or nothing like that, man? I feel like every, I don't know, person should have like the newspaper just to be like, oh yeah, good. They didn't have a newspaper, that's on them. I can't help them on that. They didn't go out there and be like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, something was blown to smithereens. Wait, what happened? What was that? Oh yeah, this little weird machine that we had to look at. They just looks like, that's why I don't like machines. So dumb nonsense like that. I think it's along those lines. I have here a photographic print of the scene taken in the wake of an explosion. It shows what little remains of the machine. Oh, my bad. Hang on, sadly. Alright. Yes, a terrible business. He did it to destroy the evidence, did he? That Enoch Trevor. The court will take this print as evidence, counsel. Late yesterday afternoon. Give me a second. Gotcha. Alright, had to look at that real quick. There you go. Alright. Let's go. The protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. Indeed it was. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. Okay, you know what? I'll give Scythe a little, understanding of it. Because, to be fair, that wasn't on her. That ain't on her. If that's the case, at least that part right there on that investigation, if he put it in there that day, I can't be mad about Courtney Sykes not examining it fully. If that's the case. As such, this will become a very different trial. I was say difficult trial, but it will be different too. Different and difficult at the exact same time for a trial. And we'll be alright. As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity. Indeed, a most unfortunate state of affairs. However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was a result of the actions of the accused. On that, we can be certain. For it was the accused who was operating the machine and ultimately caused its loss of control. I can't help that because, technically it gotta be on him and the guy who made the machine. Can't it be on both?
Objection!
But no, objection though. As Orvan Zeeks rightly says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Aspen died in the process of an accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters. Names, counsel, if you please. The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Asman. So, what exactly were these two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant. Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defendants have been clearly stated. Lord Van Zeeks, summon your first witness, please. At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. State your name and occupation for the court. Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation. Hard to pin down, I would say. Is that black monocle? Why do I feel as though I've seen him before? Oh, you too? I had the exact feeling myself. Your file indicates that you are currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? A most extraordinary sounding business. But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Cleave it from your hand. You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago. The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration. Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there? It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement? Yes, I constructed it in precise accordance with the blueprints, but that's all. Then the court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure. Might as well. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What? Good gracious! Do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? Is that your belief, sir? Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection!
But we already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection!
You established nothing of the sort. What? All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of stage trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility. Nothing more. But... If procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you will now give your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of the demonstration at the Great Exhibition. Sorry. Understood. The kinesis machine. I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago. Through Mr. Asman's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints and I constructed the machine to its precise specifications. It was no trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a double body, or a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? All spectators saw the birdcage above their heads and then crash headfirst into the Crystal Tower. Hmm. I have a question about that though. If it falls down head first, like if it says earroom, the body would have had to fall down like the. My bad. I'm trying to make it right. Like, wouldn't it be like this? So that this shouldn't be like this. This thing right here would be at the thing, and then head first would be like right there, and then boom. That should be head first. So how did this get messed up? It was head first. I might press that, or I might present that later. I'll have to press and present that. See how it is. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. A body double? That goes without saying, surely. To give the impression that something has been moved when in reality it hasn't, is a basic conjuring principle. Deception cannot be achieved. Without substituting the original with a fake some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines? Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Assman had no twin siblings. It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine. Whatever do you mean? Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Trevor. Indeed it did, my lord. The swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how. Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field. Well, I mean, you're not lying about that. Investigation of the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for a young talent in science there. Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves. If my hypothesis is sound, it can always be forced into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have sold the secrets of some deceptive wiles to sniveling talentless scientists in the past. Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was an unfortunate accident, or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by misuse of the science? Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Alright. Now I'm gonna present the bird cage for. Oh, whoa, hold on, my bad. Put it right here, actually. How many saves do we have? Okay, we have. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do that. And then we got the other two, and then I guess we got the other ones. Okay, bet. Alright. Because, I'm not gonna lie, they said head first, but it makes no sense for it to be head first if this thing right here has a thing in it. So I'm gonna press that. I'm gonna present it. Objection. There we go, I meant to say present it, but yeah. We've examined the bird cage that crashed into the Crystal Tower ourselves. Okay, that was right. Okay, perfect. Because I'm about to say, it made no sense he said head first when the thing at the bottom is, you know, messed up rather than the top. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot. Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet in the glass of the Crystal Tower. That level of damage is to be expected, surely. I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. All the breakages in the wood are at the base of the bird cage, not the top. What are you saying? That's the opposite of where they should be. That's right, my lord. The birdcage that was at the seat is damaged at its base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the crystal tower, yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there was two birdcages that played that day, which were at some point switched during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all, but an elaborate piece of stage trickery. Ugh. Good gracious! Explain yourself, witness! Well... If we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed tail first into the tower. No. But multiple witnesses reported claims that it fell head first. The birdcage materialized in the sky, next to the balloon falling over the stage, following a spontaneous explosion. An altitude of some 60 feet above ground level. Which is approximately 18 meters. It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet in the crystal tower in the ensuing deflagration. Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable. Objection. Then do you have anything else to prove, Wise? But the victim's neck was broken. Objection! He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden cage. However he fell, it wouldn't be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed. A riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be more rigorous, you would have to say it was only one vertebrae, actually. He wasn't quiet for long. I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zeeks. This witness is clearly a swindler, and one who deceived a personal friend of his. If we're going to establish this deception, do it right. Sorry? I feel that's the undertone here. Ah, yes, and there's one more point. The defense appears to have forgotten. Go ahead. It obviously wasn't a trick, as it certainly very plainly demonstrates. What? It seems to me that the cross-examination had better continue until we resolve this matter. Mr. Dropper, you will amend your testimony with the details of this truth. Of course, we must treat the matter scientifically, after all. I nearly had him there. You good, bro? Never mind, he ain't good. Okay, let me see. I'm looking at everything real quick. Okay, let me just use context clues here. It can't be that. It can't be that. 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 Maybe it could be that. It can't. Can't. What's this? Is it this? Is it this?
Objection.
I don't really. I didn't really. Maybe Ritosuke can explain. I was like, it's either that or I was going to say it was the balloon thing. But, like, I guess it's better to have, like, a detailed explanation of this dumb nonsense. I don't know. They could probably tell me and let me know. Alright. This is the diagram of the experimentation stage and its surroundings. We know that somehow the birdcage appears in mid-air before falling down in the Crystal Tower. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, and he fell on the thing. A fall about 30 feet or 9 meters. Look, man, I'm a math guy, but I'm not that much of a math guy. But you got that. However, if you examine the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen. Same distance of 30 feet. No. Well, it appears the defense has a possible explanation to put forward. Go ahead, counsel. Yes, my lord. What the? You will indicate the place to which you are referring to on the same diagram. The alternative location for which the birdcage could have possibly have fallen, what was it? 30 feet. Do they want me to say this? What? Do they want me to say the stage? Do they want me to say the stage? Do they want me to say this or that? I guess I'll point at this. I don't really know. Save it first. Like, I guess it's this. I guess the stage. I don't really know. I guess the stage. Like my brain just probably don't get it.
Take that!
Maybe that. I don't know. Okay, I guess. Let's go. The place I'm referring to is here. But that's where the birdcage would have been to begin with. Which is exactly the point, my lord. Yes, the birdcage was in the machine on the stage. But we must also consider is the height of the stage itself. Go on, counsel. It turns out that the experimentation stage was built at a considerable height above ground level. If you look at the diagram, in fact, you'll see it about the same height above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. When the experiment got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. At that moment, the floor of the stage gave way, and if we assume that there's to be void underneath, this birdcage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance. Let's go. Once again, my lord, this is all points to the fact that there was not one birdcage, but two. He's cooking. He's cooking though.
Objection!
My learned friend has no evidence that the stage had such a contrived in its design. How can we tell though? The thing's blown up. So I can't just go out there and say it wasn't. Someone is responsible for the criminal destruction of the machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. Take a moment to look at the photographic print of the scene following this explosion. Good lord, the metal grill that formed the floor of the machine is undone. Yes, most likely blown up to the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. The defense calls for the space below the stage to be investigated immediately. Mr. Driver, it was you who built this kinesis machine, which means that it was you who built the two bird cages that were used to carry out this deception. You're the only one that it could be. Whether Professor Hairbrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference, because it's the construction of this machine that matters. a machine designed to take Mr. Aspen's life, and laid the blade firmly at the professor's door, something that could only have been carried out by you, Mr. Enoch Drebber. He's like, just getting cooked the entire time. Like, what am I, Arnold Schwarzenegger? Like, what are we doing here? But seriously, wait, if you're hitting that thing every time, why you cut it off every time though? Like, that thing is off already. How you gonna bring it back on? You gonna pick up the thing and then put it back on it or something? If my learned friend has reached the end of his wild assertions, the prosecution would like to crush the defense's argument slowly but surely. What? Your argument fails to hold water. On 2 counts. 2? Go on ahead though. Firstly, for and after the experiment, the witness went nowhere near this kinesis machine. Bro, he still could have planned it way ahead of time that we don't know about. We don't know about that. Every relevant member of the staff from the exhibition has attested to that. Okay? And I believe members of the Scotland Yard has also been on watch duty at every public experiment. In other words, Mr. Drebber had no opportunity to switch the alleged pair of bird trees. But I've already explained why he wouldn't need to. The nonsense with the crossbow doesn't bolster your case at all. So you're saying it's not a possibility? Okay, then tell me. What is this thing then? What is this? What is this? If it ain't a crossbow that's hitting that thing, are you gonna say it's lightning or something? There's no lightning out there. There's nothing else that would not make sense that this thing could hit. That thing's gonna hit that. Boom. Come on now, what are we doing? The man who disappeared from the stage and the man who crashed in the tower are one and the same. The forensic investigation team reports is unequivocal on that point. And the second flaw in your assertion is a distinct lack of motive. Why would this man want to take the victim's life? He had no reason to. Now that's fair. I don't know why he would, unless he just wanted the money himself. Or he just thought, oh yeah, he was evil, just get rid of him. I don't know. There's no motive, unless it was like money or some dumb nonsense, but you're right, there is no motive at the moment that I know of so far. A motive? Do I have to think of everything myself? I have here a contract provided by the witness. So why did you just show me this beforehand? That would have been nice. Show me this beforehand. What contract is this, Lord Van Zeeks? The contract in which Mr. Drebber entered with the victim, Mr. Aspen, it reads, Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remuneration for government, grants, or other income. 30%? Certainly very favorable contractual conditions. There is one very important provision bolted onto that clause. What provision? Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. Yeah, that is a stupid clause, but I guess that's fair. In other words, if either of us were to die, the contract would become null and void. So you see, I had nothing to gain from Mr. Aspen's death. To that matter, opposite, in fact. Need I say more? The witness had neither an opportunity nor a reason to commit the alleged crime. In short, the possibility of Mr. Drebber having done as he's just is nil. This ain't fair. This guy's like, I'm cooking. I'm cooking, yes sir. It seems that the defense's assertion was somewhat wide of the mark. Lord Red seeks. You will submit the contract as evidence, please. It's true. If Mr. Drum had no opportunity to switch the birdcage on the stage with the one in the Crystal Tower, hold on a second. Commission announcement, hereby enters a contract with the provider, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to fund labor and materials for the construction of the super high voltage instantaneous condenser machine. Mr. Drebber is to receive 30%. Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right if both contract parties are alive. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna get smarter, y'all. Give me a second though. Alright, I'm back. And let me see, anyone text? At the moment, okay, good, no. Couldn't have done it. In any case, I have no idea what the motive might have been. There's only one aspect of your argument that still holds true, however. There were 2 bird cages. Prosecution is unable to deny that. Ah, so I'm sure you're on the right lines, Mr. Naruhodo. I have no doubt there are other aspects of your assertion that are undeniably truths as too. Well, it would seem that the defense has no rejoinder to offer. Well, I must say I'm a little surprised. I came here to testify about the machine I built, and instead my reputation is defiled. Prosecution counters has set the record straight, I think. It's possible that I'm the culprit.
Objection!
At the beginning of this trial, we believed that there was only one birdcage, yet we know there must have been 2. In other words, there was more to demonstrate than we realized at first. I think it's abundantly clear that the same applies to the culprit. Get to the point. The stage demonstration was constructed and set up in its entirety by you, Mr. Drebber. Therefore, it's inconceivable that you had no hand in the events that transpired. Be mad all you want, buddy. So if circumstances mean it's impossible that you could have carried out the crime yourself, it points to the fact that someone else was involved. Someone else? Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, my lord. Mr. Drebber had an accomplice.
Objection!
An accomplice now. Well then, I presume you're prepared for what's to come. Now that you're accusing not only the witness, but someone else of the most serious of the crimes. If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander. Well, counsel, do you intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of an involvement in this matter? What do I do here? At the moment, this is a little more than a hunch on my part. I don't know if sure Drebber had an accomplice or if he even released the culprit here. One way or another, though, I have my position clear as a lawyer. So what's my stance going to be? Did Mr. Drebber have an accomplice or not? Yeah, he had to have an accomplice. He had to. It makes no sense if he didn't have an accomplice, because if everyone says he wasn't there and stuff, it got to be an accomplice. And I have a good assumption of who. Okay, let's get it out the way. Who could it? Who could I be? It couldn't be her. It couldn't be her. It couldn't be him. I wouldn't think it's him at the moment. It could be possible that he supposedly died and he came back, so there is that. No, 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 no. He doesn't really have that much part, but I don't think it would be him, though. I don't think it would be her, because she doesn't have no authority in that spot. If... Could, but I mean, I'm not going to guarantee it, though. No. She definitely could. Okay, so let me go off my assumptions and then go from there, because it could go either way. I don't really think it's him. He could do it, though, because he is intimidated. He does have authority. He does have that authority to do certain things and let people do what they please. So he could be possible. If he supposedly survived, it could be him, but I don't think it's going to be one of them cases. If it is the case, then I'll just go back and I'll just say it's him. But yeah, he does have some authority, but not that much authority compared to Courtney over there. I don't think this her. I don't think her. But I think it would have to be either her or him. And I think it's just more likely going to be the other person. Because, like, she has more, what you call it? I wouldn't say she has more authority than this man, but she probably would because she is the leader of the forensic investigation team. She's more likely to be one who can do stuff. So it's either one or the other. So let's just go for it. Let's go for it. The defense is ready to name Mr. Evers' accomplice. Somehow, the two bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. And according to the coroner report, that's not a possibility. And guess what? It's her report. So she has something to do with it. And she is a coroner. But that's inconsistency itself is a clue. Counsel. My lord. You have received a stark warning already. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. So your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Drebber's accomplice? It has to be her. She's the only coroner out there.
Take that!
The name of the person in question is... What's wrong, my Nibini's friend? Surely fear doesn't bind your tongue now. It's a little too late for that. Of course I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely going to make waves. A lot of waves. And could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me. I'm sure it will be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Mrs. Sato. The enemy always appears at larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy. Alright then, here goes. You've kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, counsel, now. The person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Scythe. Well, what the blazes are you talking about? Dr. Scythe? The head of the forensic investigation team, the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim? Think about it, bro. Think about it. She's the only one that could have done it. Who's the one that wrote the report? Who wrote that report down? Who wrote this report? It's a Courtney Scythe here. Courtney Scythe is in here. Guess who the other report belongs to? Look at this report. Courtney Stevens. Two the same names. That I wasn't even thinking about. But yeah, congratulations. You're cooked. It has to be her. Just two different reports. Let me talk. We know there's two bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators. The area was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, the police officer included, were banished to make the way for the forensic investigation team. What else could have the switch occurred? It can only have been in that team's presence. He's kind of cooking right now. It's essentially that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The victim is that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify. He's kind of cooking right now. I kind of like that. Can this girl stop eating that corn? You got a nerve, lad. Sitting up there, dragging a yard's name through the mud. Sounds like a skill issue, juror number 6. Then how about you get some people that aren't crooked? I didn't mean to. I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker out there. How dare you call her a criminal? Then, who else did it? Tell me who else did it, sir. Name someone else that did it. You did! No, it sounds like a skill issue, buddy. Look, here's my thing. How can I do it, buddy? I'm the lawyer here, dum-dum. My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. No, it's not really wild, but I know it's her. Tell me then, there's a possibility that two of them are in there. None of these other people could have done anything about it unless it was Strongheart, and he's too busy anyway. Unless you want to say that Odie Asmund was somewhere out there alive. So you want to say Odie was alive. But yeah. But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. Please tell me. One which the prosecution demands you address at once. Go ahead, ask me a question. Ask me a question. A grave problem? Oh my word. Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? What? Certainly. If the birdcage contained the body of the victim was exchanged for another, that cage must have also contained a body. And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone, even remotely resembling the victim, have reported. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have been fulfilling the role of the body double of Mr. Asmund. That's true. My argument is there that there were two birdcages, then there must have been another person was inside each. But I don't know or I got an answer yet, have I? What can I do to reveal that this other body's done was achieved? Do I have evidence? I mean, I have this. Wait a minute. We do, because I remember, because they stole the body and then that waxwork head, and then all of a sudden they kept the head. Yes, evidence, present it, please. Very well. The defense will address my learned friends concerned by presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Asmund's body double. But good gracious, evidence! I do hope this isn't filibustering, counsel. The court is expecting a name. If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. The body double and the bird cage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witness would have seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of the explosion some 18 meters above the spectators? Aha! The body double inside the second birdcage was this head, because they had a body. They took the body and the head, and they did it for a ransom.
Take that!
Give me that. We know that the victim, Mr. Asmund, was in a birdcage that was situated inside the kinesis machine on the stage, and therefore he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else, which was described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into Crystal Tower. Yes, counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events, and that body double inside the second birdcage was in fact... It's alright, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this. Just steel yourself and come out with it. Thank you, Mr. Sasato. I needed that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was, as unbelievable as it may seem, that thing there. They're like, what the heck? They're probably like,
Objection!
yeah, he's gonna say that. He's like, this sounds stupid. Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nippity's friend. What are you on? Are you on the weed? I will give you something else to get rid of that weed out of your mind. Now tell me, what are you playing at? Stand firm now, Ryunosuke. It's time to show your Japanese spirit. I mean, I'd be like, what the heck are you smoking on if they did that to me too? I'd be like, bro, what is he doing? Who this exit? Mm. Okay, let's go. It's the Chronicles Resolve. This is a waxwork model. A model, in fact, of the infamous London murderer from 10 years ago, the Professor.
Objection!
You started by indicating the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime. Indeed, I did. And now you've moved on to indicating waxworks. Well, I mean, yeah, it definitely was. Look at it. That thing is a waxwork. It sounds crazy. Which, hey, makes sense, but hey, makes sense though. Yes, that's about the size of it. But why? And why this waxwork? Nothing would like the victim. In fact, it can hardly resemble him less. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that, Vanzix. Let me ask something though. Did you know about the reports that this thing was stolen though? Yeah, it was stolen. What possible justification can you give? We want to know why. Ask Mr. Drebber. What? Just days before the Professor Hairbrain performed his public demonstration, Mr. Drebber abducted this model from Madame Two Spells. Did you say abducted? And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum. Then, the timing. Is this true, Mr. Drebber? At first, I couldn't see why Mr. Drebber would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. But now, the reason is clear. He took it so that he could put it in the second birdcage as a bideable for Mr. Asman. Gah.
Objection!
Oh, brother. Saw a move, though? Hey, if you see a move, hey, you know what to say about that. Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist? That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner? On the public stage in front of a vast audience? And that, to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide?
Objection!
Nah, bro! Wait! Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible. My lord! I need to speak, if you please. Oh, brother, here we go. Every time they want to listen. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement. Very good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings for the court to hear now.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
Guilty!
Kill me!
Why is she even here? Why is this girl even here? All she's been doing is eating corn the entire time. So as indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus. And why is she even eating the corn? We can't even do that. I knew that was going to happen. We shall get through this, Mr. Naruhodo, as we always do. and uncover some new truths along the way. I'm quite sure. Yes, I agree. Gonna have to appeal to the jurors as usual, see if I can persuade them to change their mind, because at this point, they're getting me cooked. The defense will now embark on a summation examination. Are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman? We are, my lord. Very well. In that case, I ask you to state clearly for all the present to hear the grounds on which each of you have decided that the defendant is guilty of the crime on which he is charged. I've known that woman for years. She's never been accomplice to anything. It's utter nonsense to think those two would have ever been conniving with one another. Oh dear, this is most troubling. But surely the waxwork the man sold has nothing to do with the coroner, is it? Well, it was a professor thing, so I mean, I don't know. I've had my own problems with the members of the police. I do not trust them that much. I see no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the bird cage. It's conjecture. Accusing someone without right evidences? He's not a proper job, is he? I won't have it. Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this waxwork model to the proceeding has polarized opinion. Given that its face obscured and its build in no way resembles that of the victim, I can only applaud my learned friend's temerity at suggesting it as Mr. Asman's body double. Yes, the applause is deafening, as yes, I know it seems extraordinary, but that's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue than anyone yet realizes. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's some specific reason why it was used, why it had to be this model. Really? A reason why nothing else would do, you mean? Yes, but I'm convinced it's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim. Well, if that's the case, we must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs. Yes, agreed. I have to find a way out of this. If you are ready, counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord. Enoch Dropper, I'm gonna beat you. I'm talking to you then, sir. The order of things seem to have changed around here for some reason. I'm a copper, lad. It's a copper's discretion to bend the rules sometimes when needs must. What's wrong with that? Okay. Where do I start? But what do I know? I'm not a copper. I've been working at the yard for 40-odd years. That's even more than I thought. I only had Metropolitan police services in town for 70 years, you know. Of course, times changed. Public didn't trust coppers back when I started. It was rough. We had to fight crime, and we had to fight to win the public's trust as well. And when we did, forensic science was in its infancy too, even more than it is now. And she spearheaded the revolution. Dr. Scythe, you mean? That's right. About 10 years ago now. It was when I was still a youngish Bobby on the beat. That's when she started making a name for herself as a top-class coroner. And look at her now, head of the forensic investigation team. And a woman, no less. Well, you won't hear me complain. That's what we all dreamt of back then, I tell you. Could you tell me without holding the gun in the air? We were all out to uphold justice, lad. Full of them. We were full of them. That's coming across loud and clear. Okay.
Hold it!
Okay. But we're only starting to understand this case. What are you reading there, sir? The man behind those murders on Solar Pond Street was called 2 days flat. That's real policing for you. That's really not relevant to this case, is it? You're wrong there. Because it was Dr. Sight in charge of examining the bodies. And it was evidence arising from her work that led to the arrest of that scoundrel responsible. Oh. That's right. Oh. That woman is at the forefront of this country's fight against crime. The idea that she somehow was involved in this murky business is a load of old tosh. I thought it was up to me to press the jurors, not the other way around.
Hold it!
Assault then, ma'am. Why would you assume that? Well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has no relationship with the woman, does he? True. As it stands, we don't know any connections, which is fair. Oh gosh, but it would be delightful romantic if they were somehow to have a mutual interest in the waxwork. Romantic? A woman of society as such as myself views everything in terms of relationship, you know. Well, you learn something new every day, even if you don't want to. One might wonder about a possible relationship between the defendant and this coroner woman. Or perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor over there. This woman may be more astute than I've been given her credit for. If that's the woman's stance, then perhaps demonstrating some connection between the waxwork and Dr. Scythe would be enough. Yes, I agree. As soon as we have a whiff of a connection, she'll be the first to know.
Hold it!
I'm talking to you. What sort of problems? Let's just say we have run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the street. Right, I see. Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences. So we perform our great magic in parks, on street corridors, and the like. I thought I said corridors. I might say, what the heck are we going on here? But the police use any excuse to make our lives difficult.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say in response to that, Mr. Ottermole? Oh, you're calling a mass murderer. Ah, sorry, my mistake. I got confused because I heard you look like him. I don't look anything like the man. You want to be locked up, Sonny? You can't lock me up now. Thanks, Mr. Shobes. Perhaps we could move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. Which would make sense, though. There we go. And clearly you do. Back in my day, back in the good old days, it wasn't like this. What was it like, sir? We worked our fingers to the bone to earn the public's trust, we did. And by Jove, we earned it. People respected us back then. Respected you? Huh. No one would have called a coroner and questioned them in days. Or in them days, coroner's report was the hallmark of the investigation done right. Especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put her name to it. She was the best of the best.
Hold it!
An apple of the... hold on a minute. What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens? Ah, sorry. Got a bit carried away there. Stevens is Dr. Scythe's maiden name. Her maiden name, so that was before she was married. Oh, of course. Silly. Yes, silly me. It's Scythe now, isn't it? You did say Scythes before, but I don't know why. Stevens. I'm sure I've seen that name somewhere recently. Anyway, the point is, those are the great days of policing, not like it is now. Yeah, it was this right here. Where you see that name. Anyways, the point is, those are the great days of policing, not like now. Sorry to interrupt, sir. But do you think you could have changed your statement to include the name? Well, yes. I don't see why not. Alright, let me just see something. I didn't press U, did I? I didn't press 4, and I probably didn't press 5, maybe? I don't know. Let's see, though. It says press U, though, sir. But you claimed the whole instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a trick. That I did, but there's more to one way to pull a rabbit out of the hat, isn't there? Sorry? I grant you, given that this cage appeared from a mist and explosion, there had to be no use for it to use a real person. But if a waxwork had been used, the culprit could at least need to make it look out like the victim. I will agree that is true. I'm not sure exactly how much criminals are governed by decency. The point is, if you're going to make a claim about that waxwork being inside the birdcage, you need to give us some evidence. Without that, it's not science. I suppose we should expect nothing less from a logical argument from a fellow royal scientist or royal society member. But that perhaps means his mind could be changed if we present some suitable evidence. Evidence that Professor Waxwork was inside the birdcage. How can we prove that? I have evidence. Actually, I have something like you to see, sir. Oh? I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats. So, given your jet black outfit, I don't mind admitting to such a trepidation here. So you don't trust anyone in black? Look in the mirror, must be very trying. I do have some evidence that the waxwork was inside the birdcage, because we do have this glass here.
Take that!
What's that? A piece of glass. Though it's unusually thick for glass. Yes, it's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket of the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass though. It's very thick and clearly made for extra, strength. Much like the special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower. The Crystal Tower. Holy smoke! Exactly. The centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, where the very incident we're talking about took place. On the day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through a window of that special glass, from which this small piece originated. Is that it? Precisely. So, what do you say? Now that the clear evidence in support of the assertion has been placed before you. Well, as I said, I only trust men in white coats as a rule. However, when the reasoning is sound, it's fair to say color should come into it. In light of what you showed me here, yes, I feel obligated to change my stance on the matter. In that case, you heard it before, you will amend your statements now, please. Can we do 4 or 5? Can we do a 4 or 5?
Objection!
Because now we have evidence. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious! To whose statement do you refer, counsel? If you could put your corn down for a moment, juror number 5. Oh, you mean me? You're the only one with corn on your daggone face and hands! Put that thing down! You pointed out that it was wrong to make accusations without evidence, right? You said that, right? The accusation that the waxwork model was inside the second birdcage on the day in question is not without supporting evidence, as the defense demonstrated to the juror sitting beside you. Oh, is that right? Congratulations, yeah! Would it be fair to say you didn't follow the argument? I don't understand much besides Colonel Cobb, to be honest. Why did we bring her out here? Of course you don't. How about I explain it in a simpler way? This waxwork, would you say that you see some glass, right? If you see some glass from the Crystal Tower, and it's the only thing of its own. Hold up. Yes. Alright, I'm back. Oh, my bad, I'm back. Ooh, my bad. Okay, I'm back, Doja, I'm back. I forgot what I was supposed to do, though. Of course you don't. If I could interject here, please do, sir. Now that the assertion of yours about the waxwork has been backed up by some solid evidence, it would appear wrong of me as a man of science not to pursue the matter further. Appreciate it. Alright, well, me too then. Sorry? If this brainy gentleman says he's right, then he must be. See? Wouldn't dream of going against Colonel Cobb or anyone who's got stuff in between the ears. Right, that works. Success, if you can call it that. Guard pit, would that have to be 6 and 2? I'm gonna say 2 attacks. It's the only one that deals with the coroner.
Objection!
I see. These two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious! To whose statement do you refer, counsel? So, juror number 2. Oh gosh, me? What can I do for you? I presume that you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's brought to light that the maiden name of the coroner is Dr. Scythe, which in turn reveals a connection that wasn't apparent before. Well, naturally, as a woman's society, I find such connections and relationships irresistible. But oh golly, I'm afraid I fail to see what you mean. The files? Dr. Scythe's maiden name is Stevens, and through the name, the coroner is definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it. My goodness, evidence you say? How utterly enthralling. Counsel, the court cannot overlook that last remark. I very much hope there is substance in your claim. Of course, my lord. I would ask the court to look at this. The evidence that links Dr. Scythe to the mass murderer, known as the Professor, would be the kill part. I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago. A 10-year-old autopsy report? What relevance does that have? It is, of course, that very autopsy report of the person portrayed in the waxwork, the killer known as the Professor. The Professors? But the man was a capital offender or so. That's right. It's a certification of the death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives a few details. What's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens. Oh my, Courtney Stevens? Strike a light! It appears that Professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Scythe 10 years ago. A few days ago, Mr. Draper very deliberately stole the waxwork of the Professor from Madame Two Spells. A waxwork that doesn't, in fact, resemble the victim, Mr. Aspen, at all. Oh, and do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events? Absolutely. I'm sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind that the Professor case is at heart of a link that we have yet to uncover between Dr. Courtney Scythe and Mr. Enoch Drebber. Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships. This is all most extraordinary. We're surely obliged to now explore this further. Of course she says that. Quite right. We can't let this trial come to an end now. Not while there's still suspicion hanging over the yard's best corner. It was like this in my day, but we're still here to uphold justice in the end. Thank you, Counsel. That will do. As the result of summation examination, the jury's overall leaning has changed. 2 jurors now call guilty, against 4 who call not guilty. Accordingly, the court has failed to reach a consensus at the time. The trial must continue. We did it. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Another wonderful victory. Waxwork of a despicable professor uses a body double for the victim in this quite extraordinary case. Sorry, my brain was just all over the place. My bad, Jack. I must say, it's extremely hard to believe the assertion could possibly be true. However, it would appear that it does at least warrant further investigation. It's the waxwork of the professor that links Mr. Drebber and Dr. Scythe. I'm convinced that there's a special significance to that link. I don't know what you're hoping to prove that. I really don't. The truth, sir, by using evidence and testimony. The court is to delve deeper into this alleged involvement of the waxwork in this case. The prosecution calls forth the owner to the model to be summoned as a witness. The owner? Madam Two Spells. I really thought that Lord Van Zeeks would object to this whole line of inquiry. Very well, I concur. Make arrangements for Madame Two Spells to appear as a witness with immediate effect. Listen carefully, my learned friend. Oh, yes. You should know that you're on the brink of opening Pandora's box. The court shall now adjourn for a 45-minute recess. During that time, the prosecution will summon a new witness and prepare her for taking a stand. Madam Two Spells, yes. I shall see to it at once, my lord. Hurry, y'all. We are going to stop it here because, oh wait, what? Oh yeah, but yeah, we are going to save it here. I do need to get some other stuff straight quick. But yeah, y'all, I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace and love y'all. Yee.